welcome to Film and Page. I'm Dominic, and this is another episode of Road to Dune. So there was some news that came out about Zendaya and the character of Chani, and this isn't as big of a controversy as what happened with the Masters of the Universe, but there is some rumblings on Twitter about it and stuff like that. I haven't really seen too many YouTubers talk about it. Maybe just like Midnight's Edge. That's it. However, I think it's one of those cases where people are jumping the gun again and freaking out over nothing. That's what I think it is, and it's just another one of these stupid culture war things. But let's get into the article that I have here and talk about it. So this article is from DuneNews.net. Villeneuve sees Zendaya as the star of Dune Part 2. In the lead-up to the world premiere of Dune Part 1 at the 78th Venice Film Festival, September 3rd, La Repubblica interviewed Denis Villeneuve about the realization of his dream project. Besides sharing insights about the creation of his movie, the director expressed enthusiasm about returning to the film, its sequel, and reuniting the two young leads, Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. Chani, played by Zendaya in Denis Villeneuve's Dune 2021. We've previously heard Villeneuve emphasize how from the start it was always Chalamet in his mind for the role of Paul Atreides. He's praised the actor's combination of charisma, maturity, and talent, and admitted there really was no plan B. Although he didn't immediately have someone in mind when casting for Chani, Zendaya left a definite impression with her audition. On the other hand, when I was casting the character of Chani, I met a lot of actresses. Zendaya wanted to audition, and now, after shooting the film and seeing what a great actress she is, I regret having her audition, just because I didn't know her. However, that day she impressed me, and when she walked out of the studio, I knew that Chani was her, the young desert tiger. I'm honored to present two such explosive talents on screen, and I can't wait to shoot the second part of Dune to have them back together, knowing that in the next chapter, Zendaya will be the protagonist of the story. It's possible something was lost in translation during the interview itself, assuming Villeneuve was speaking in English or French. Based on what's written in Italian on the page, though, there is no room for ambiguity. That last sentence states that Zendaya, who said herself that she plays a small part in the first movie, will be the protagonist in Dune Part 2. For those who've read Frank Herbert's Dune, this may sound surprising. In the book, we don't get many opportunities to experience Chani's perspective. Watching the second movie trailer and the first 10 minutes of them, screened during the IMAX exclusive event, however, we now know that the young Fremen warrior who appears in Paul's dreams will be the voice for her people, narrating their story on Arrakis. Regardless of how much screen time she actually has in Part 1, it's becoming clear that Villeneuve has big plans for this character. Indeed, multiple interviews have corroborated that the crew already had a clear vision of Dune Part 2 during shooting of the first movie. Now, assuming Villeneuve's comment was accurately represented, this doesn't mean we should expect changes to major plot points. The story of Paul is central to Dune. However, he's undergoing a complex transformation, conveyed by use of inner monologues in the book. For the movie, the director may have decided that expanding into Chani's point of view will enhance audiences' experience of this incredible journey. Villeneuve's comments on seeking out Eric Roth, who co-wrote the Dune movie script, and the importance they placed on the female characters, shed additional light on the approach he's taking with this adaptation of the novel. When I decided to direct Dune, I called the screenwriter Eric Roth because I'm convinced that he has the necessary culture to deal with the spirituality of a story like this by exploring its religious aspects. But above all, because I have always appreciated his way of delineating the female characters. I've read a lot of Roth's scripts, and when we met, his first question was, okay, let's make this film together, but what is the main thing you want from me? What should I focus on? What's the priority in adapting the book? My answer was the female characters. I think femininity is at the heart of the film. In the book, the Bene Gesserit are essential. They rule a power all their own. and they do so by following their own trajectories, practicing manipulation and using the most sophisticated of weapons, time. The strategies with which they use time have always fascinated me, while the males just run to go into battle. Women are stronger, and this also made me think about the relationship between our culture and time. Which of us will be able to last longer? Americans see everything in an economic way, and for them it's important to have wars that last 3 months, convinced that they can compress time. Other countries, on the other hand, are more focused on using their time. I think these will prevail in the end. So that's everything that is said in the interview, and I think I kind of agree with the author of the article. I don't think you're going to see major plot changes. This isn't going to be a case of The Last Jedi or anything like that, or Terminator Into Darkness, where the creators obviously just sideline the main male character for the sake of political correctness. You're not going to see that. Denis Villeneuve, I have total faith in him. And if he is going to expand the role of Chani or make Chani more important or whatever the case may be for the film, he's going to do it for the betterment of the movie. And he's not going to do it just to score virtue points or whatever. And this is not Rian Johnson we're talking about here. This is Denis Villeneuve. And I've never seen him put out a bad movie yet. Now, they all might not have been huge blockbusters, but that's not always the measure of quality for a film. And I think this is just another one of these stupid things with the culture war where there's people out there that just want to have drama for the sake of drama. They don't actually care about the things they're complaining about. They just like to stir up drama. And it's just now all of a sudden this week, Chani is the most important character in all of pop culture. When it was only a few short years ago when I started my channel, I started talking about this movie when nobody else was. No one was talking about it. Nobody cared about any of these characters except for the hardcore Dune fans. Everyone was too busy out there bashing Star Wars and bashing Star Trek, and nobody cared about any of these characters. Now all of a sudden everyone cares about them, and they're the most important characters in the world. So that's all it is. It's just people wanting to stir up drama and just jumping the gun on things. And yeah, but the other thing I think that's, if the first part really bombs bad, this is like a moot point. We're not going to get the second part, so it doesn't even matter. So that's how it is. But what I do find interesting is in this interview, Denis Villeneuve is talking like the part 2 is a foregone conclusion. That's the part that, like, nobody's talking about that part. They're all just hung up on this thing saying Chani was going to be the protagonist of part 2. But no one's talking about, like, I think this is a bigger thing, is he's talking like part 2 is a foregone conclusion. I wonder if there is some kind of a deal or something that Legendary, they're going to make part 2 no matter what. That part 2 is coming out. Because, I don't know, just the whole situation with everything that's going on in the world, and that whole situation that YouTube won't let me talk about, they could always use that as the excuse if the first film underperforms. They could always use that as an excuse to go ahead and greenlight part 2 anyway. So that's my main concern, is will we even get part 2? I'm more concerned about that than anything else. All this other stuff is just trivial. And Denis Villeneuve is not going to sabotage his own film. Whatever he does for his movies, it's for the betterment of the storyline. And that's my opinion on it. And it's, like I said before, it's just people stirring up trouble, and it's just all about drama, and it's just everything boils down to left versus right now, and it's just nauseating. But to me, this isn't a big deal, and people are freaking out over nothing. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you at the next one. I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you all in helping this channel grow. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded.